In this episode, we're going to be conducting a live 14-man fantasy basketball Dynasty Points League draft on ESPN. Welcome to Game Pick Fantasy Basketball. My name is Robin MARX. I am a junkie for NBA action, especially fantasy basketball. So tonight we're going to be doing a live stream showing you behind the scenes of a fantasy basketball dynasty draft. So let's quickly talk about what Dynasty is. If you know about fantasy basketball, you know that really most leagues are structured in a redraft structure where you draft every single year. You pick players, and then the next year you pick new players. Well, for the real fanatics, for the real basketball junkies, they play Dynasty. So what is that? It's like being a real GM. You get to build your team over the years. I have one Dynasty team that I've had for over, I want to say this is our fifth or sixth season, So it's really, really exciting stuff because you're not just picking players for this season, you're picking for the long haul, which is an amazing opportunity to really dig in and have that enhanced game watching experience because you have a fantasy team that has players from all over the league. So it's super exciting. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the strategies before the draft starts. You could pick a team based on a contender's perspective. Like you want to build a contending team, a team that you want to win now. And most people try to do that. You want to build a team that's going to win now. But based on your draft position, you might not be in a position where you can actually build the strongest team. You want to be really mindful of the people that you're picking long term. So you might want to go young. The second thing is people who go into it with a long-term state of mind. People who are drafting like John Morant and Luka Doncic first and second or third top of the draft, because they're younger players and they know that they'll have a long career putting up tons of fantasy stats. And then the last way is the balanced approach, which is what I try to do, which is based on where I am on the board, really trying to build a team of up and coming young talent, but also sprinkle in some veteran presence. So that way we have guys that can kind of get us through. For example, a person like Gordon Hayward is a person that I target in all of my startup dynasty leagues because I know I'll get him for a discount and I know that he's going to put up, tremendous numbers. So tonight, we have a bunch of players from my Discord, which I'm really excited about. And I'm going to head over now to that screen so we could see who is actually in the draft room. So let's move this to the main screen here. Okay. So if you can't see me, please do me a favor and drop a comment here on YouTube. If you are a Discord member, please send me a DM on Discord. I just want to make sure because this is the first time I'm using this rig and this setup for Game Pick Fantasy Basketball, and I just want to make sure everything goes right. So we have 11 minutes and 34 seconds until the draft starts. So while we're doing that, let's quickly take a look at our lobby and just kind of see. It looks like we have a few of our players here and a few of them are not here. So that's concerning. And one thing about the draft, you always want to make sure, especially if you're a league manager, to reach out to the players beforehand. So I recently sent a group text to everyone in our Discord about the draft to remind them, and about 8 of them responded that they were going to be here. So I'm confident we'll have at least 8, but we might very well have 1 or 2 people that auto draft. It happens every year, every draft. People just don't show up. So when we talk about money leagues versus free leagues, you want to make sure that if you can create some kind of some kind of stakes and incentive so people will stay active and also show up for their drafts. So even if it's a $10 buy-in, a $5 buy-in, a $20 buy-in, that way you don't have people just flaking. All of our Discord leagues are free just because we're building out our community and we're just kind of feeling it out. But next year, if things progress, we'll most likely have more money leagues. I'm going to have a quick sip of that tea. So while we wait, I also want to talk about my draft position. So when you watch these live drafts, or if you watch a mock draft, you got to put yourself in a position of the person who's actually doing the video or drafting, right? So what I'm going to do is kind of walk you through what my process is at the last pick, which is pick 14. And maybe you can just kind of prepare yourself when you do your first dynasty draft, if you do a dynasty draft. And also, even for your redraft leagues, these strategies, some of these things that we'll do today can carry over. I'm trying to give you guys tidbits and nuggets and tips that will work beyond this season. So one big thing that I always tell people is not to get in the chat of your draft and talk about the players that you want. Like, don't talk about the players that you want. It's not the move. I think that many of us, it's our instinct to kind of want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, whatever you do, don't go around talking about, what players you want to pick. You know what I'm saying? So we got about 8 minutes left. While I have a minute, let me quickly take a look at my sound here just to make sure it's all good. Love it, love it, love it. Oh man, this is awesome. And let me know in the comments too how you like the live stream. Do you like the presentation? Do you, like the way it's all set up? And also, while we have a minute, let me tell you how you can get in contact with us. So, first things first, follow us at Game Pick Podcast. Follow us at Game Pick Podcast. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You can also find us here on YouTube, which we want you to subscribe. Like, really, it's really important. We're trying to get to at least 1,000 followers this year, 1,000 subscribers this year, and see if we can get this channel monetized. Like, why not, right? Releasing a bunch of shorts, a bunch of basketball edits recently that are doing well. We're excited about it, but also we're giving the fantasy jokes where I kind of do voiceovers in fantasy sports situations, real life and made up, fantasy sports situations, as well as tips, buy low, sell highs. And shout out to the whole community, because you guys have been kind of guiding me in terms of what it is that you want. And I can even see the videos on TikTok and on YouTube do well based on what you guys request. So please keep those requests coming. The next thing I want to do is invite you all to our Discord. So to join our Discord, all you have to do is go to bit.ly/Game Pick Discord. That's bit.ly/Game Pick Discord. When I tell you, this Discord is everything. I mean, I had no idea, man. I literally started the Discord because starting the Discord is the thing that you do, right? If you're doing fantasy sports, if you're doing like coaching, if you're doing NFTs, if you're doing gaming, you got to do the Discord, right? And many of you know this, but I'll share a quick version of this story. The reason that I started Game Pick Fantasy was because I was inspired by my big brother, Kevin. So my big brother, Kevin, was fighting a heart condition all summer. And he was telling me about how he wanted to start a gaming channel. He was going to call it K-Dub Gaming. I was helping him with his logo. Like, it was just this whole inspiring thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the fantasy basketball podcast. Like, who cares? I have to. Like, it's something I want to do. So I just kind of messed around with it, dipped my toes in the water. Next thing you know, my brother Kevin passed away November 7th, 2021. After that, it was like, I'm going to go so hard on this game pick. And I'm seeing the results of it. It's growing slowly, but the community is growing. So if you love NBA action, not just fantasy, but if you love the NBA in general, this Discord is the joint. It'll introduce you to fantasy on another level because we're really locked in on Dynasty. But more than anything, it's just positive vibes all around. No real hate, anything crazy. Is being moderated correctly, and we're growing in a positive way. So I want to invite you formally as the owner of the Discord to come and spend some time with us. And you can do that at bit.ly/GamePickDiscord. And last but not least, Patreon. We launched the Patreon today. We also released our brand new logo. You can see the logo wherever you're watching. You can see it somewhere, right? Like we launched the Patreon, new logo, the upgrades on the Discord. Like, we're going live on TikTok now. We're going live on YouTube. So please listen. I wanted to make sure it wasn't like I'm asking for any like crazy amount of money. It's not. It's a few bucks, right? The price of a cup of coffee or less. If you buy your coffee at Starbucks, it's way cheaper than Starbucks. But what you'll do is you'll get access to a bunch of exclusive benefits, including a private quick response chat channel on Discord. So you know how sometimes you might be on like, yo, I need an answer. I got this guy on the hook. I want to make this trade. Somebody help me. If you are a Patreon supporter, you will be on our quick response list, meaning me or a couple other people in my unit will get to you quickly. I would definitely get back to you within the hour, unless there's an emergency or something happening in my life. But my intention is that's the only notification that will go off on my phone from Discord is from that particular channel. And when you respond, I will answer. Okay. The other thing is we're going to give you 20% off all of the new Game Pick podcast fantasy basketball gear. So we're only doing snapbacks right now. So the snapbacks are coming. When they come, I'll be rocking them. You'll see them. But if you want a snapback, you can grab one of those. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll get 20% off of anything you purchase. And also, if you're in a Discord, we'll be doing some giveaways for some of the swag and stuff. There's some other incentives for being in the Patreon. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that I have a wife upstairs. I have 2 kids upstairs. And when I'm down here doing this in my office, it's time away from them. So I need to justify and, let them know that something is coming from this, even if it's a little bit. So that's why it's reasonably priced for everyone. It's only a few bucks, $3 is not a big deal, but it will go a long way if we all do it. So with that being said, let's go back to this draft and see what's happening over here. So we're 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from the first pick. We got my man Boss Man in here. We got Tunes in here. We got Matada. We got Team W's in here. Oh, people are rolling up. Balado rolled up. Oh my goodness. Listen, and here's the thing. If this auto draft happens, some of these guys are going to end up with Bradley Beal at 6, Damian Lillard at 7, and Paul George at 8. That's what is really bad about auto drafting, is that you end up throwing off the whole dynamic of the draft. So now my man at number 2, Queta, if he doesn't show, he's not here right now, he's going to end up auto drafting Giannis. And then Portly will auto draft Luka. Ballers will auto draft Cat. And then Bradley Beal would go 6. So W's just got here. So he's live. Oh man, this is exciting. Let me finish this tee off. We got 1 minute 27 seconds, y'all. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be like heaven to me. This is my favorite. And also, I'm pounding gallons of water in 2022. If you're not drinking your water, guys, drink your water. I'm drinking a gallon a day. You can start off with half a gallon. You can start off with a few bottles, like whatever it is. But we got to, as a fantasy basketball community, drink more water, guys, for real. Let's tone it down on the beer. You can drink your beer, but come on, let's drink some water too. 50 seconds. Super excited. There's no surprise who's going to go first. But I also want to share with you guys, I have a little secret weapon here. These are the exclusive Game Pick Fantasy Basketball Dynasty rankings. If you are a Patreon subscriber, you will get access to those monthly. They will be updated monthly, but I'm thinking the people who have it, I will give them access to any live changes. I'm going to create maybe a live document that's locked so you can't edit it, but I'll edit it as I go. Just to let you know that I connected with Joey over at Hashtag Basketball, and he shared their new Dynasty rankings, and I based it off of that, just made my adjustments. Here we go.
Welcome to the best day of the year, draft day.
Welcome to the draft. So, commentary. With the first pick, I expect that Team Matata is going to take the Joker, and the Joker goes. So, I think Team Quetta Fan Club with the second pick is going to take Giannis. Just to quickly speak on the Joker, because I have to, man, he is by far the most dominant fantasy player in the game right now. What do you want? You want points, you want rebounds, you want three-pointers, you want high field goal percentage, you want assist, you want a couple blocks, maybe a steal or two. He is like, it's not a pretty game. Like, I don't like watching a Joker like that, man. I remember, like, when he first came on the scene, like, one of my homies got him off of the waiver wire when he first came into the league. Like, yo, I don't like his game. His game is, like, not pretty to watch. It's like I watch Ja Morant, and I'm like, yeah, like, that's what I like to watch. That's my kind of basketball. But for the Joker, it's not a pretty game. But I'll tell you this, if you got the number one pick in fantasy basketball, especially in a dynasty draft, you better take the Joker. Number 2 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis goes number 2. Number 3 is Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic goes number 3 to Team W's. So this is about right. My rankings are a little different. I have Luka at number 2 for my rankings. He's a little younger than Giannis. Giannis is 27 years old, so he's a little younger. So that's why I gave him that extra place. But any one of these guys, first, second, and third, if you pick Luka first, I wouldn't have been mad at you. If you'd have picked Giannis first, I wouldn't have been mad at you. So this is starting off right. This is where it's going to get tricky, though, because just bouncing back here to the player pool, James Harden will likely go next. And then, oh, shoot, LeBron James went. And you know what? I was surprised my first draft, when the first game pick dynasty draft that I did, I was surprised by LeBron going first in a dynasty. But I understand, like, until you can prove to me that LeBron James will have a decline, I think he might be playing till he's like 55 years old, yo. It's crazy. Guys who are 37 years old in the NBA decline. It's like a universal law. Nobody has ever performed at this level at that age. Like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played ball at that age and was pretty good. He wasn't doing this kind of stuff. Have you seen LeBron in his warm-ups? He's doing like crazy dunks. It's like, I don't know if he's sleeping in like a cryo chamber or what, but your man is next level. Oh my goodness. Ja Morant just went at number 5. I believe some tasty goods are going to fall down to me for pick 14 and 15. But I would say to this, that Ja Morant at number 5 is not a bad pick. I have Ja Morant at number 9 on my dynasty rankings. To give you some insight on where I have LeBron James, I have LeBron James at 41. So I wouldn't have picked him that high. But again, if you want to win now, grabbing LeBron James with the 4th pick is not a bad move. He is the number 2 player in points leagues right now, I believe, right behind the Joker. If not number 1, I think they've been going back and forth. So he's producing. Yes, I don't doubt that he might lead you to a championship this year. But you know who else can lead you to a championship? Karl-Anthony Towns, Trae Young, Joel Embiid, all of these younger guys. So if you have the 4th pick, like taking LeBron, yes, it's a surefire way for you to get to the playoffs and maybe the finals, but long-term, you might have hurt yourself. Number 6 is off the board. That is James Harden. I love that pick. I would not have let him fall any further than that. So I'm glad that Team 25 grabbed him because, Yeah, that would have been a catastrophe had he fallen any further than that. So we're waiting on Team Inferno. It appears as if Team Inferno might be auto drafting. If he's auto drafting, then Karl Anthony Towns will be going off the board next, which is good. Nope, Kevin Durant goes off the board. So Team Thibodeau is up. And let me just recap the picks we have. So number 1 was the Joker. Number 2, Giannis. Number 3, Luka. Number 4, LeBron. Number 5, Morant. Number 6, Harden. And number 7, Durant and Morant. Okay. So for me, Kevin Durant, I have him ranked at number 10 on my rankings. James Harden, who went number 6, I have him ranked number 11. And for me, my logic behind those rankings, all of the guys in my top 10, with the exception of Kevin Durant, are 27 or younger. Kevin Durant made it to number 10 and he's 33 years old. So age plays a part in where we rank them, because if we're talking about a trajectory, the older a player is, the shorter the lifespan of his production will be. This is a great pick. So number 8 is Karl Anthony Towns. He went way later. Like, I don't know how he fell that far, but he did. And I'm glad that Team Thibodeau grabbed him. That's a great pick. And I think overall the first round is going well so far. The only things that kind of were surprising to me is that someone took Ja Morant so high, because I would take Ja Morant at 5. Like I'm okay with that, because I believe he is the future of the NBA and also potentially a MVP candidate this year, because his team is winning. He's averaging like 24 games, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Like, he's putting up numbers. So that's not that. It's a little shocking based on, I guess, fantasy basketball standards, but I like the pick. The biggest shock is LeBron James going at 4. I think that's high. Steph Curry goes at 9. Love that pick. Not mad at it at all. So I want to talk about the people that I'm targeting, and people are going fast. So now we got Steph Curry at 9, Trae Young at 10. So now for me, I need to realistically start thinking about my picks, my first 2 picks. So Beal, Lillard, and George are on the board. And with that said, there's no one auto drafting. So I'm going to let those guys pass. I'm not going to draft any of those guys. I'm targeting right now Joel Embiid and LaMelo Ball. So if I could get one of those 2 guys, that would be good. I know my league mates are probably watching this. So if they snipe them, that's okay, because I'm just doing this for the culture of fantasy basketball. But my 2 targets are Joel and LaMelo. So I'm going to just put them in my queue. If they take them, you'll hear that lovely, because they had his eyes on him too. So according to my rankings, the next person I would have up would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at number 13 on my rankings. And then I have Donovan Mitchell and DeJounte Murray. And honestly, DeJounte and Donovan could go back and forth. I like both of them. So let me just recap where we are in the last couple picks. We had Karl Anthony Towns at 8, Steph Curry at 9, Trae Young at 10, 11, Jason Tatum, and yes, at 12, Bradley Beal goes off the board. And oh my God, DeJounte Murray is off the board. So I have the opportunity to get both Embiid and Ball. I'm going to quickly look to make sure there's not something I'm missing. I want to pinch myself. I don't want Anthony Davis, who is someone I would consider. These are my 2 guys. I'm going to draft Embiid first. Oh my God, that is music to my ears. And now I'm going to get LaMelo Ball in a dynasty format. I have LaMelo Ball ranked at number 8 for dynasty rankings. I grabbed him at pick 15. I can just end the draft now. Speaking of ending the draft, we're actually going to end the draft at round 10, I believe. We're going to go to round 10. We're not going to do the whole draft, because it's going to be a long, miserable experience for you if we do that. But in between time, I just want to remind you again, if you can, please support the Patreon. Very important. My wife is upstairs. My kids are upstairs. I'm down here doing this thing. Like, we need to work together with this. Like, I want to keep pumping out the content, but if in order for me to do this, to fuel it and make it great, it's not much. It's only $3. It's not much. Like, you burn that on whatever you're doing, like a coffee, gas, whatever, $3 is not going to hurt you. So if you can, no pressure. Like if you can do it, it's all good. We're going to be together for a long time. So I'm okay if you can't do it right now, but please go to patreon.com/gamepickpodcast. Now let's get back to the draft. Okay, so let's go back to our pick history. I'm so hyped about my lineup. What am I going to do now? So let's talk about it. So Jason Tatum went at 11. I love that. Bradley Beal went at 12. I don't know if he auto-drafted that. No, I don't think he auto-drafted that because Beal is not seriously injured. So that was probably a pick. DeJounte Murray at 13. Joel Embiid, love that pick, Robin Marks. Number 15, LaMelo Ball, love that pick, Robin Marks. And then we had at 16, Domantas Sabonis. Number 17, Damian Lillard. I'm not crazy about the Damian Lillard pick, but I get it. Dame is going to be back in 6 to 8 weeks, or if they shut him down for the season, he'll be back next year. And at that point, he'll be a first-round player. So I'm not mad at that at all. It's a discount for Damian Lillard, if you ask me. Jared Allen is at 18. Donovan Mitchell is at 19. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is at 20. And Paul George at 21. Another discount. I think getting Paul George at pick 21. Imagine if he was healthy right now. If we were doing this draft in October, like people would be like, oh my God, that's crazy. So that's the unpredictable nature of fantasy basketball. Fantasy sports in general, but for basketball, it's like, a player like Paul George who has a bit of an injury history, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something to keep in mind. We just kind of draft the names until they show us otherwise. This year, a great example of that is Anthony Davis, who just went at number 22. He used to be a top 5 guy, top 10 guy, and he dropped into the second round for a lot of drafts because of his injury history. And this year, he didn't disappoint. Well, he did disappoint and got injured again. Vucevic goes 23rd. I'm not mad at that, but let's talk about my rankings really quick. So Sabonis went at 16. I have him ranked at, where do I have Sabonis? Oh, Sabonis I have at 25. Lillard goes at 17. I have Damian Lillard at 38. Jared Allen goes at 18. I have Jared Allen at number 30. Donovan Mitchell goes at 19. I have Donovan Mitchell way up there at number 14. So that's a great value according to these rankings. And again, my rankings, the foundation of my rankings are built off of #basketball rankings, which honestly are the only people in the fantasy basketball industry that do dynasty rankings. If you have another dynasty rankings resource, please send it to me. But Joey over there at #basketball, we've been in contact. We've been communicating. I sent him my rankings to kind of compare them and let him know some things that I believe might need to change in his rankings. But at the end of the day, I'm doing tons of research, tons of projections to make sure we get an accurate picture. So I'm going to go back to the rankings later. Let me catch up on some of these picks. So at number 18, Jared Allen. Number 19, Donovan Mitchell. Number 20, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 21, Paul George. Number 22, Anthony Davis. Number 23, Nikola Vucevic. Number 24, Zach LaVine. I love this pick. Number 25, Fred VanVleet. Love that pick. 26, Devin Booker. Love it. 27, De'Aaron Fox. Love it. 28, Jaylen Brown. Wow. All of these guys I have ranked pretty high. So Jaylen Brown, who went at 28, I had him at 23. That's about right. De'Aaron Fox at 27. I have him a little lower just because, yeah, he's having a slow year. So I have him at 45, which might need to be a little higher because some people were talking about taking him in the first round earlier this year. Devin Booker got picked at 26. I have Devin Booker at 20 on my rankings. Fred VanVleet went at 25. I have Fred at 21. It's about right. Zach LaVine went at 24. I have Zach up there at number 19. So that's kind of a rundown there. Anthony Edwards goes at 29, which is a steal. I have Anthony Edwards ranked at 23. #basketball has him higher. I want to say he's in the teens. So that's a great pickup. Drew Holiday going at 30. That's a little too early for me for Drew. Rudy Gobert going at 31. I think that's a little too early for Rudy, but I'd have to look and see what's out in the player pool. It's coming close to my pick, so I'll be checking that out soon. 32 is Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler. Hashtag basketball had him ranked really high. I brought him down on mine because of his injury history, but also he's old. He's an older guy. And he's, come on, man. Like he's 32 years old, 32 in 3 months. I have him at 32. He went here at he went at pick 32. So that's spot on with my ranking. So I like that. Darius Garland's off the board. I might cry. So yeah, I might cry now. I really wanted him. There's another guy that I really want too, but I have to talk to you guys about it as I get closer to my pick. I will. I know my league mates will likely snipe me. I saw a few people on the live stream, so I imagine they might be some of my league mates. So number 32 is Jimmy Butler. Number 33, Darius Garland. Number 34, Julius Randle. Julius Randle is having kind of a doo-doo season compared to what he did last year. He was the most improved player, made his first All-Star appearance. And this year, I think it was a couple games ago, the Knicks crowd was booing him. New York City fans are no joke. They were booing him, and your man gave them the thumbs down. Don't do that in New York. Number 34, Julius Randle. And number 35, DeMar DeRozan. I love that pick. Yes, DeMar DeRozan, in terms of longevity for fantasy, maybe he's not the sexiest pick. But if you're trying to win this year, that's a good pick. Team Thibodeau grabs at number 36, grabs Zion Williamson. I am not mad at that pick. I'm a little, I guess, curious on why, but I think he's thinking long-term if, in fact, he picked Zion. At 37 is Bam Adebayo. So I love that Bam should have went off the board a lot earlier. He's going to be back in a week or two. So the fact that he has a bright red 0 or O next to his name can kind of discourage people from grabbing him, but he's an amazing pick. So I'm actually 4 picks out. So I'm going to quickly take a peek at the rank at the player pool to kind of see where my next move is. And right now, things are getting dry now. So it looks like things are drying up a bit. So there's still some guys that I'm quite interested in that are still on the board. So Michael Porter Jr. goes. That hurts. I wouldn't have done that at all. So let's take a look at some of these guys that I'd be interested in. So Cade Cunningham is really interesting to me because I have him ranked 24th on my rankings here. And I think he's going to be solid. The only issue is that he's a rookie, he's young, and that could potentially lead to me sacrificing some I'm up already? Oh, God. So here we go. So the first one I want to grab is a main man, Evan Mobley. So I'll go ahead and draft Evan Mobley. And then I'm going to look around a little bit to see if, in fact, it's Cade Cunningham or if I want to go with an older player. I have 51 seconds to think about it. So Russell Westbrook would be my older player that I'm looking at. So, like, yes, I really like Russ. He's really good. I got 39 seconds. I got Cade on the board according to my rankings and Brandon Ingram. So Cade might be a bit of a stretch because I'm very young already and I don't want to have an all rookie team. So I'm gonna I don't think I can say no to Cade actually. Cade or Brandon Ingram. I'm gonna trust my rookie and I'm gonna just go all young on this team. Just go for it. Let's go young. So Cade Cunningham, not mad at that at all. So far, it looks like my strategy is going to be, I'm thinking long-term. I'm not even building a team for winning right now, although I'm sure I can and will win. I'm joking. I'll probably win. But me leaving Brandon Ingram, he's a kind of player who is at the cusp of either I'm about to shoot off into superstardom or I'm going to be a bust. And he's going to shoot off into superstardom. But with Cade Cunningham is special. And I know it's just his rookie year, but I always share this story with people. I'll share the story. Let me just quickly go through the last couple picks. So at number 37 was Bam Adebayo. Number 38, Michael Porter Jr. I don't like that pick. Number 39, Tyrese Halliburton. I like that pick. 40 was Chris Paul. 41, DeAndre Ayton. 42, Evan Mobley. 43, Cade Cunningham. 44, Brandon Ingram, right after me. Russell Westbrook at 45. 46 was Scotty Barnes. 47 was Clint Capella. 48, Jaren Jackson Jr. I love that pick. 49, Tobias Harris. 50, Pascal Siakam. And 51, Christian Wood. So let me share this story real quick. So I'm in a league with a bunch of guys. Like I said, I think we've had this league. This is going on our 6th year, right? So this is our 6th season. We have 5 championships. I want to say I won 3 or 4 of them, right? I can't remember. It's a lot. But one year, there's this rookie that comes into the league. His name is Luka Doncic. And everyone is like, oh, is it Trae Young? Is it Luka? Luka wasn't anything too fancy. I think at the time, he was averaging probably about 19 points a game. He was putting up good numbers for a rookie. And I made an offer. And I sent my league mate, DeMar DeRozan, and a couple other pieces because I saw it. I did the eye test. Like, I watched the guy play. And I was like, yo, he looks like one of those kids in AAU that's way better than everybody else, and he's dribbling circles around them. So I made that offer. At the time, it was kind of crazy because I paid a lot. I think it was Miles Turner. I sent Miles Turner and DeMar DeRozan for Luka, and he was like, oh, okay, I got to take it. Next year, Luka's second year, he took off and hasn't looked back, and now he's one of the number 1 guys in fantasy. So that's the reason why gambling on Cunningham, Mobley, and Ball, that's what, builds a great dynasty team, is having the vision to look ahead. Okay, so let's go back and catch some of these picks. So we had Clint Capella at 47, Jaren Jackson at 48, Tobias Harris at 49, Pascal Siakam at 50. 51 was Christian Wood. 52, Robert Williams. 53, Kristaps Porzingis. I love that pick. 54, OG Anunoby. 55, Chris Middleton. 56, Terry Rozier. 57, Jusuf Nurkic. 58, Lonzo Ball. Man, I wanted Lonzo. I wanted to have the Ball brothers. I wanted to have both Balls on my team. Hey, yo. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So next up is Miles Bridges goes. So now that we're in the weeds here, I'm gonna kind of put my phone away there, and I'm gonna start looking at my next players and see what it is. Let me stop tricking myself. I don't want to I actually want to do the draft with my rankings. I think that's cool. That's a cooler thing for you and for me. So let's go. So let's see who's still on the board that I have here in my top 80, 60 to 80. Oh, baby. Miles Bridges. Let's see who we got. We got Miles Turner. Is Miles Turner still out there? Let's see if Turner's out there. Because if Turner's out there, he's going to be the person I'm targeting. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in my queue. Let's hope that my league mates don't snipe him from me, because that would be mean, because I'm doing this live stream. I shouldn't be punished. Let's see who else is on the board. Ooh, Robert Williams is already gone, I believe. Pascal Siakam is gone. Yeah, most of these guys are already gone. So I'm looking down now in the top 70 right now. So Cole Anthony is somebody I'm interested in. CJ McCollum, who is likely gonna ball out, and CJ is 30 years old. He would be one of my veteran guys that I'm looking for, but he's gonna offer next level value. So let's see what I got. I got a point guard, 2 point guards, a shooting guard. Yeah, it looks like I can make a move for some of those type of players. So let's go over here and just do a quick pick history before my picks. So we had Chris Middleton at 55, Rozier at 56, Nurkic at 57, 58 Ball, 49 Valanciunas, 60 Bridges, 61 Desmond Bane. Interesting pick. 62 LeVert, 63 Grant. Don't like that. 64 Green. Don't like that either. 65 Collins. Love it. 66 Bridges. I'm trying to trade him in every league I have because I'm just so frustrated with him. Okay, so Robin Marks is up in a little bit. CJ McCollum just went off the board. Malcolm Brogdon is interesting to me. He puts up numbers, but the injury concerns are crazy. So this is what I'm going to do. So I can do one or two things. I'm going to have to get those other guys on the turn. So I'm going to grab my Miles Turner now, because I just can't. Miles Turner, it's right now, this is like way down. And Miles Turner, I have him ranked way higher. Where do I have him ranked? Miles Turner, I have him ranked 50. So I have to take him. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's not a player that I'm super hyped about. You know what I mean? He's not somebody that I typically get super excited about. But in this case, I have to. And then the next player I take in round 6, just because, again, I'm thinking long term. Oh, he's gone already. Is Kyrie gone? See if Kyrie's still out here. Kyrie's still here. Then I have to take Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie, although he's playing a part-time schedule right now, right? Kyrie Irving is a first-round guy. He's a first-round guy. So yes, we are in the age of COVID-19. Like, yes, it's different. It's not the same. We live in a different time, a different world. But things are going to get back to normal. And when Kyrie is playing 82 games a year, and I grab him in the 6th round in a 14-man Dynasty startup draft, it's a great deal. So right now, yes, it's not the sexiest pick, but I promise you, long run, that's a great move. So a lot of the players that I'm interested in are still on the board. Again, I don't want to put anybody in my queue because I'm confident that some of my league mates may be watching, and I just want to be I want to wait till I'm closer to my pick to do that. So let's go through the pick history and kind of see where we are right now. So Draymond Green went at 64. John Collins went at 65. Mikal Bridges went at 66. Rashawn Holmes went at 67. CJ McCollum went at 68. Ben Simmons went at 69, which I really like. I love that pick. In most of my drafts, I was grabbing Ben Simmons and Kyrie back-to-back because people were just scared, This before Kyrie came back. Number 70, I grabbed Miles Turner, and then I grabbed Kyrie on the turn at 71. Cole Anthony goes at 72. Colin Sexton goes at 73. I like Colin Sexton and I like Cole Anthony, but some of the players we have on the board, I'm not sure I would have took them there. We have Gordon Hayward at 74. I wish I could have got him, but that's okay. That's a great place for him to go. And number 75 is D'Angelo Russell. So I have a ways before I get picked. So let's quickly look at some of my rankings to compare them to some of these players who were just picked. So for Cole Anthony, he went at number 72. That's about right for me. I have him ranked at 66. Kyrie Irving, who I grabbed, went at 71. I have him ranked at 40. Let's talk about Miles Turner. He went at 70. I have Miles Turner ranked at 50. Gordon Hayward went at 71. Gordon Hayward, I probably can't even find him. He's way down here somewhere. Where he's at. Where the heck is Gordon? I will pass on that one. Okay, so who else do we have? Okay, we got a bunch of picks. At number 76, Wendell Carter Jr. Interesting. Jakob Poeltl at 77. Interesting. Malcolm Brogdon. I think he would have went a lot earlier if he didn't have these injuries because he's no joke when he puts up numbers. And Montrezl Harrell goes at 79. Josh Giddey goes at 80. I love that pick. That's one of the guys I was targeting, so I'm really happy that someone who is that Big Apple Ballers, he's a team to watch. I love that he grabbed my main man, Josh Giddey, because it was going to be Josh Giddey or Kyrie. I had to take Kyrie. I couldn't say no to that, but that's a great pick. It all's fair in love and war. So let's keep looking. We got at 81, Kyle Lowry, which for me, for Dynasty, I'm not drafting Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, like I don't even know if I have him in my top what, like top 119th. I have him ranked 119th. He is 35 years old and 8 months at the time of me doing these rankings. Not drafting Kyle Lowry. But again, I hope he gives you some value. That ain't for me. So let's see who's next. Looks like Mike Conley goes next, then Jalen Suggs. I love the Jalen Suggs pick. Love the Jalen Suggs pick. Love it. Great pick. Really good. Really good. I need some small forwards now. I don't have one small forward on my lineup, and that's something that I want to be mindful of. Klay Thompson goes 84. Not mad at that at all, at all, at all. I think I have Klay ranked. I got Klay up there probably. I think I moved him up. No, he's still down there. At least in the 100 somewhere. We'll look for that later. But no, Klay Thompson, I saw his first game. They're force feeding him the ball. So his usage right now is being manufactured by his teammates wanting to get him off to a hot start, which is good, but it also creates an appearance of production that might not be sustainable for him. So you got to be mindful of that. So next up is Kyle Kuzma, and then Derek White, and then Sadiq Bey. I'm not messing with Kyle Kuzma. Even though he's killing it, I'm not drafting Kyle Kuzma. Nope. Maybe I'll draft Kyle Kuzma for a sign-in trade. Sign him and trade him. Number 85, Kyle Kuzma. 86, Derek White. 87, Sadiq Bey. So now we're getting down right now, guys. We're getting down to that time of the draft where it's like you're in the trenches, in the shadows. It's not like, who do I pick? Kyrie or Ben Simmons? No, it's gonna be like, who do I pick? Isaiah Stewart or like Aminu? Like it's no fun at this point. But we're gonna go to the 10th round. Right now, I'm looking for a small forward. I want to get some small forwards on my team. So let's see what we can find here. So Franz Wagner, love that. So Andrew Wiggins goes at 88. He's a small forward. Franz Wagner goes at 89. He's a small forward. Chris Boucher goes at 90. He is not a small forward, but that's okay. That's okay. I need to take a look quickly at the player pool, so bear with me. So let's see who's still here hanging out. Spencer Dinwiddie's still hanging out. Buddy Hield is still hanging out. RJ Barrett, nothing sexy here. Jalen Green, I'm like, man, I can't do anything with Jalen Green anymore. It stresses me out to even think about it. Kevin Porter's up in here. Harrison Barnes, my main man, not sexy, but again, if I'm thinking about having a consistent contributor, veteran leadership, that's the guy. So I'm looking at Harrison Barnes. Not sexy, but when we're thinking about my core right now, I'm really happy with my core. Now I got to fill some of these holes on this boat. RJ Barrett is off the board. So we have Boucher, Hield, Dinwiddie, and Barrett. Yeah, this is slim pickings. I've been scrolling and scrolling. I like this guy here. I'm going to start just dumping a few people into my queue here, because there are a few guys down here in this gutter area that I'm quite interested in. So I have not actually decided on who it is I'm going to pick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at the top of the class here and see who it is that I would be interested in. And at the moment, it seems as if I'm being forced to pick Jalen Green. Again, Jalen Green is like, my team is all youth. You know what I mean? Like it's a youth-based movement. So for me, it's not about getting a small forward now as much as it's about thinking about who is the best player for my team based on ranking. So I want the best player. So let me look and see what some of these rankings are telling me. It's telling me that Kevin Porter is an option. Alperen Şengün is an option. But I think I'm going to just Oh, Jalen Green is gone. Thank you so much for doing that. That made my life so much easier. Oh my God. So I think I'm gonna just scroll on down. Let's take a look at what Kevin Porter's been doing over the last couple of games. Ugh, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Devin Vassell, I believe. Devin Vassell, again, not a sexy pick, but he's a young guy, and my makeup of my team is all about the young guys. I'm gonna grab Şengün and Vassell. And again, Şengün might not play, he might not get to play, but I know that that's something that I'm interested in, is seeing again, what is he going to be in 2 years? So like, I'm patient. And maybe, the thing about fantasy league, sometimes people play in it and then they leave, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm always like a long-term player. So even if Christian Wood is traded this year, Alperen Şengün's fantasy stock will rise tremendously. So for me, I think it's an exciting pick. And for the makeup of this team, it's in line. Like, everybody on this team, the oldest guy on this team is Miles Turner or Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? So if, Kyrie Irving is the oldest guy on your team, then you have a bright future. And also with having a player like LaMelo Ball and Joel Embiid, like, I have studs in place. I think it's important to make sure that you fill the roster with players that you'll enjoy watching play, right? Like, I'm not picking Kemba right now because as much as I love New York and I love that Kemba is from New York City, I'm not about to draft him and he's available there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to watch him play. So we literally have 2 more picks before we end the live stream. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 2 more picks until we end the live stream. Kawhi Leonard, great pick. He was not in my queue. I grabbed him in another league, but he was not in my queue. Team Say is on fire. That's a great pick. Super proud of that pick. Love it. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at our most recent pick history just to kind of get you caught up. So after I picked Devin Vassell at 98 and Alperen Şengün at 99, Keldon Johnson went at 100, PJ Washington went at 101, Jordan Clarkson went at 102, Kawhi Leonard went at 103. I love that pick. That is so good. I love that pick. Another guy that I think might still be out there is Jamal Murray. And that's another one. Like, those guys who are injured, out for the year, but in Dynasty, it's a different, game. Tyrese Maxey goes at 104. Love that pick. 105 is Kemba Walker. Hate that. 106, Norman Powell. Not feeling that. Nickeil Alexander-Walker at 107. Nope. And let's go ahead and put Murray in our queue. So I missed out on my man Kawhi, which is okay. But we don't want to miss out on. Oh, is Jamal Murray still around? Yeah, he's still around. So we can put him in our queue, and maybe we'll be able to get him with one of our 9th and 10th picks there. Also, quite interesting here. We have Jared Vanderbilt goes after Nickeil Alexander-Walker, then Bobby Portis, Josh Hart, and then Devontae Graham. I really like Marcus Smart. Let's see what his production has been like this year. Ooh, I can't really do that, but I'll have to put him in there because now we're thinking about like winning a championship, right? Al Horford, not my cup of tea, my guy. Bogdan, we can gamble on Bogdan because with Cam Reddish moving on, that could be a great opportunity for him. So we'll throw him in the queue. We'll put Kevin Porter in the queue as well. Put Mitchell Robinson in there. I wasn't crazy about him at first, but then he's kind of just grown on me.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
Somebody grabbed Jamal Murray. I love that. I'm not mad at that. That was Hakuna Matata.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
They sniping all of my guys. Oh, guys, we're almost finished this live stream, and I'm getting 8 up right now. I'm getting 8 up. Like, mosquitoes are biting me. You hear that? Good God. That was Jalen Brunson. So that would be Devontae Graham, Lauri Markkanen, Jamal Murray, Zubac, Schroeder, and then Brunson. I had Brunson on my queue list. Let's see who else. Jonathan Isaac, he's one of those kind of players. Maybe, maybe, could be, possibly. If he ever plays again, I don't know if he'll ever play again. But when he plays, he's good. I don't think anybody has him on his bench, but I'll take a shot at that. I'll flyer on that. Still scrolling through this endless sea of garbage pool players to see what I can sneak into my queue. I don't think I want anything to do with the Knicks backcourt or their wings. So let's do a recap. We have Jalen Brunson, Herbert Jones, and then Bledsoe. Yeah, this is Kevin Love. That's who I want. I gotta have some Kevin Love. If I get Kevin Love, this is the last draft. I was in the same position before we got off. If I could get Kevin,
guess they had their eye on him too.
That was Steph Curry, not Kevin Love. If I could get Kevin Love in this next 2 picks, I'm gonna be a happy man. So that was Herbert Jones, Eric Bledsoe, Steph Curry, Robert Covington. Robert Covington went off the board, but if I could get
guess they had their eye on him too.
That was Mitchell Robinson after Robert Covington, which is okay. I'm not mad at that at all. I don't have any problems with that. But if they take my main man, Kevin Love, I'm not going to be feeling the love. Actually going to be a little salty, a little angry, a little mad. Let's hope they don't take him. Cam Reddish, stop it. I want nothing to do with that guy. I got love for him. Hey, New York, whatever. Jordan Poole. Are people dropping Jordan Poole? Oh, man.
Guess they had their eye on him too.
He's been looking doo-doo since Clay came back. So that's Mitchell Robinson, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Thaddeus Young. I don't like that pick. I don't like that pick at all. Let's see what we got here. Still trying to see if some of those famous names did. Oh, I know who it is. We want Anthony Simons. That's who we're going to target. Is he up there? Oh, yeah, he's around. So Anthony Simons is one of the guys we want to target. Unless somebody snipes him. So I'm going to get Kevin Love and Anthony Simons, and that's going to be the end of this draft. I promise you, the end. We're finished for this stream. We still have a few more rounds to do, but I'm not going to put you through that. So here we go. Kevin Love. Oh, baby. And you know what? Kevin Love is, he has a new role. So now Kevin Love is producing with only 20 minutes a night, which for me is kind of like the poetic part about it. Is like he's a guy who, traditionally, he was a 20 and 10 guy. So to have him doing something and being relevant in fantasy again, that's another part of it. And he's one of those old guys that I'm trying to target. So I'm going to swoop down and go get Anthony Simons just because I believe he has a bright future. And also with Dame out right now, he has a lot of opportunity to eat. So it's him or Gafford. I want to stay away from Gafford just because Montrezl Harrell is back. Thomas Bryant is back. I believe their backcourt is going to be a mess, not just this year, but for years to come. So I'm going to take Anthony Simons. Booyah. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. So hyped. Listen, you are a one-of-a-kind creation with the ability to shape lives with your unique talents and gifts. You are winning championships every single day. Like every single year, like you can bring your reality into, the future with this podcast, with this YouTube. So if you want to win fantasy basketball championships specifically, like you want to win the chips, hang out with us. We are doing it nonstop. The Discord is live. Don't forget, you can catch us at Game Pick Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, join the Discord at bit.ly/GamePick Podcast. And last but not least, don't forget to support the Patreon at patreon.com/GamePick Podcast. My name is Robin Marks. This is the Game Pick Fantasy Basketball Network. Thank you so much for drafting with us tonight. Talk to you soon.